Greetings once more from Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Thank you for tuning into my channel to see the next great book that I've reviewed just for you. And the book this time is Over My Dead Body, Unearthing the Hidden Mystery of America's Cemeteries. This is published by Abrams Press and it retails for $23. A lot of us don't like to talk about death, but it's eventuality, and for many of us, cemeteries are places where it will be our final resting place. Now, some might think this is a very depressing book. Well, it's not a depressing book because it is very informative. The author looks at, I think it's 18 American cemeteries that have been there for, well, pretty well close to 200 years. Many of them have been. He talks about the history of the cemeteries and the ones that are the most famous. Burial rites go back to Egyptian times when people had a great reverence for those who had died. And in this book, he mentions quite a few cemeteries, among them Arlington Cemetery, Sleepy Hill Cemetery in Concord, Massachusetts, Gettysburg National Cemetery in Pennsylvania, Greenwood in Brooklyn, New York, and the Boot Hill Graveyard in Tombstone, Arizona. He also talks about Central Park, and he includes that in the cemeteries. Now you might say, why is he talking about Central Park? It's not a cemetery, but he said it was built on top of a cemetery, two cemeteries possibly, and there are a lot of bones that are still underground in Central Park. So when he goes for his, runs, jogging there, he thinks of, all the people that are lying under the ground. And the book is not done in a morbid manner. It's done in a very informative manner as he talks about burial rights, those who were denied burial. He talks about the Jim Crow South where black people had to have their own cemeteries, that they were not allowed to be buried in white cemeteries. And there's also a lot of controversy about a lot of the Civil War soldiers who could not be buried in regular cemeteries because they were against the Civil War. So it's really, he dives quite deeply into the whole area of death and burial. He also talks about cremations, which is no surprise that you hear more people are being cremated than actually buried. In fact, cremations far outnumber regular burials now. But he talks about some statistics that while it might be cost saving, perhaps it's also putting a price on our environment. He tells us here, and I wrote it down, that one cremation creates 500 pounds of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to driving 700 miles across country. So you multiply that by all the cremations, every day, because most of the crematoriums use natural gas. So he also tells us another interesting statistics that 5.5% of mercury emissions from the crematorium are caused by people with dental fillings. When they are, cremated, the dental fillings create mercury emissions into the air. So really, it's absolutely fascinating. Every single page talks about either a famous, cemetery, like the famous Hollywood Cemetery, where all the famous movie stars, films, TV stars are, and it's just well, if you're looking for a book that's kind of different. Now this is American. It's all American cemeteries, but that's fine, because we can relate to cemeteries in general. So Over My Dead Body is certainly a book worth reading if you're curious about cemeteries and want to read something that's very, very different and very well researched. So if you do purchase the book, please let me know if you do agree with my review. I think you will. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I enjoy doing these book reviews and will continue to do them as long as people keep watching. So I'll be back very soon with another excellent book. Till then, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.